V'shem Kol Yisrael. So it's Parshat Behaalotcha. And I want to talk to you about the story of the mitonenim, the complainers, the kvetchers, in Shishi of today's Torah reading. And I have a cool chiddush. Let me know what you think. So the Torah tells us about these mitonenim. Yi am ki mitonenim, Perek Yud Aleph, Ra b'aznei Hashem, complaining about evil in the eyes of God. Vayishma Hashem, and God heard, Vayicharapo, and he's very angry. Vativ'ar ba'am esh Hashem, v'tochal b'ktzei machana, and a fire of wrath goes out. And then we hear in Pasuk Daled, V'hasafsuf asher b'kirbo, and we're going to get back to what that means, but the article says the rabble, the riffraff in some translations, the rabble rousers. Hitavu tava, they had a great desire. Said, who's going to give us meat? All we have is manna, and we want our meat. We missed the watermelon and the malafafon and the shum and the kishuim that we had in Egypt. This man's not good enough. And of course, Hashem's not very happy about these complaints. They're complaining about nothing. Hashem's giving them man from the heavens, but they complain. And my question is, who are these asafsuf? Now, as I've already alluded to, the general translation of the rabble rousers, the outsiders, the people on the end of the camps. This is based on Rashi, because Rashi says that the asafsuf are the Eruv Rav, those Egyptians that just joined the Jewish people because they said, we want to be part of the Jewish people, but they weren't really part of us, and they're the problem. That's generally the way that it's explained. But did you know that Rashi is based on the Gemara, and there's another opinion in the Sifri, and it's based on Rabbi Shimon bar Menastia's opinion. Shimon bar Menastia says asafsuf is related to the language of asaf. In the very next story, we hear about God being me'asef, gathering the elders. So he says, who are these people who are complaining? They are the elders, the Torah scholars, the leaders. And this is fascinating, because I understand if we have a bunch of rabble-rouser, ex-Egyptian quasi-converts who have taivas for meat and they're stirring up all the trouble. But why would these Torah leaders, the heads of the congregation, why would they be doing this? Like, what's going on? They need meat? Aren't they above that? But maybe it's like this. What were they really having a taiva for? What was the real issue? So as Rabbi Foreman suggests, mitonenim, complaining, comes from the root of onen, mourning. What were they mourning? So Rashi has his suggestion. They were mourning the fact that they had all these mitzvahs to do, all these new laws. Definitely a valid way of looking at it. I want to suggest a new idea. Perhaps they're mourning the fact that they didn't have a role in leading the Jewish people. And the only hint I know of what they were mourning about is earlier in the Parsha, when the Levi'im take the role of the Bechor, and they get sanctified to be the new leaders, the new teachers of the Jewish people. So come these Torah scholars, and they say, what about us? Where's our role? How come we don't get to be the special people serving God? And from that place of jealousy, there's a yearning. They want to make a difference, but they don't want to admit that it's just jealousy. So instead, they make an excuse. This is probably all subconscious, but they find a reason to complain. We don't have meat. What about the people? What about Egypt? But at its core, it's coming from jealousy. And that, by the way, might explain why the very next story is when God gathers up the elders, seemingly out of nowhere, and gives them the ruach of Moshe and lets them become leaders of the Jewish people. He assuages their need for kavod. So what's the takeaway? The rabble rousers aren't just a bunch of random people, but actually Torah scholars who started all this complaining stuff. So maybe two takeaways. Takeaway number one is for us. It's a lot of times in life when we feel like fetching. And we think very often that it's problem A, which is bothering us. But very often, if we take a moment and look deep into our consciousness, it's usually not necessarily problem A. Maybe we're tired. Maybe we're hungry. Maybe we're jealous. Maybe our other needs are not being met. And we're making a big deal out of something which is something else. So before we complain and make a big deal about something, check in with what my real needs are. That's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2, if you're a leader, be aware that the people under you, they also want to have a role. They want a piece of the pie. It's human nature. There's nothing wrong with that. That's why Hashem lets the sages ultimately have a bigger piece of the puzzle. But to be a big leader doesn't mean that you have to always be the one giving the big speech. You need to get everyone involved, everyone to have a role. That's what a true leader does. Maybe we zocha this week to fix the sin of the complainers and look for opportunities to praise, to thanks, to say thank you to Kadosh Baruch Hu for all the blessings and the zchut of our positivity. We will bring more positivity and joy into the world and bring the Mashiach very soon. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please share it. Let me know. And have a wonderful Shabbos from Yerushalayim, from the Gan Eden of Nachvaot. Good Shabbos.